All right, we are live, but chat. I cannot see if they're chatting live on YouTube because something weird happened. So anyway, going live on Rumble. We are live on Rumble. Get the music going. And good afternoon, and welcome to the Omni Coalition News Show, aka TOCNS. This show is a dive into the weird, obscure, bizarre, in other words for strange world of notable events, weather, and sports, covering topics seldomly, if ever, seen from most news sources these days. Join us! During a time of political overabundance and divisiveness, we present you with more unifying topics to discuss, for the most part. For links to these articles and anything else potentially interesting, please check the underbar of the description below. And as always, all links gathered throughout the show will appear post-live stream. Anyway, I am Xander, and who am I joined by today?
King's Refuge.
Yep, and the Golden Loon will be joining us here at some point. Anyway, let's jump into the show here today. Do you want to, like, how do we want to do this today? Like, are we going article by article? Do you want to take this one?
No, you can take this one.
All right. Woman sets Guinness record with 18 tattoos of Madonna. That is quite a bit. Kansas woman set a new Guinness World Record for most tattoos of the same musician on the body with 18 portraits of legendary singer Madonna. Tara Berry has been a fan of Madonna since 1983, and when the pop culture icon put out her hit single Borderline, but she only started getting tattoos of her in 2016, at a time where the artist was actively looking for fans who had tattooed, who had her tattooed on their bodies, to appear in one of her videos. Tara had been waiting to do it for a while, and this gave her extra incentive to finally go under the tattoo gun. But little did she know that it was just the beginning of her tattooing journey. She ended up getting a whopping 18 tattoos of Madonna on her body, enough to claim the Guinness record for most tattoos on this of the same musician on the body. So that is quite a bit. 18. I don't have a single tattoo of anything. Like, I am ink free. You got any tattoos there, King?
Tennessee Chiefs tattoo and Iowa Hawkeyes tattoo.
Okay. What about you, Loon? Like,
what?
Do you have any tattoos?
No.
Okay. Yeah, we were just talking about this person who has 18 tattoos of Madonna on her body and has the Guinness World Record for the most, what was the actual, most tattoos of the same musician on the body.
Good grief.
So, 18.
No, when I was young, if you were tattooed, that means you were in the Navy or something crazy like that. Tattoos were very uncommon to the normal population.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next article here. And, King, if you want to read anything, please just let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to go for it here. More from Oddity Central. Company creates AI voice filter that turns angry screams into calm speech. This is some, like, futuristic Jetsons sort of technology. Like, can you imagine being a customer service person, you know, customer relations, public relations, whatever? You have to deal with the people.
Yeah.
Okay? And people call up, oh, you so-and-so, blah, 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 you suck, blah, blah, blah. And it turns that into, oh, good afternoon, my good gentleman. How are you today? Oh, I am splendid.
The angry one speaking to AI turns into calm?
Yes. See, company creates AI voice filter that turns angry screams into calm speech.
Yeah, I got that, but I can't.
Why not just replace them all together with AI?
Well, who cares? You turn
completely cut them out.
You're kind of losing the point of why that person's angry, you know? It loses its emphasis.
Well, at the same time, there is a great deal of issues with, what's the word? Help me out here. There's...
I don't know where you're going. Confrontation or something?
No. Like, people... Entitlement. There's a great deal of entitlement out there. So people just call and complain over the stupidest little... They get all upsetty spaghetti. You know? Like...
Yep.
And, like, they scream, carry on, you know, over the smallest of stupid little things. It's just like, dude... Calm down.
The point
have some dip.
Changing the speech. What is the point of that? I can't get my mind around it.
Because if your job is to all day, every day, deal with people calling up and screaming at you, it takes a psychological toll.
Oh, wait a
You know?
minute. So it's changing speech before it goes to a person,
Yes.
not to a computer.
No.
I'm thinking of an AI computer.
No.
What's a
no,
computer care? Oh,
no,
okay.
this AI changes in real time. Oh, you saw blah blah blah
okay,
into.
okay.
Oh, hey, good evening, my fair gentleman.
I have a problem.
I have a bit of an issue. You know.
You ripped me off for $800, but I'm happy. How are you today?
Yeah, I know. Anyway, it says here, a Japanese company has developed an artificial intelligence filter that can detect angry screams and translate them into calm speech in order to reduce stress experienced by the call center operators, as I said. Large tech companies have long been aware of the stress their call center operators are exposed to every single day, with many customers taking out their anger and frustrations on them. Some of them have introduced stress management programs that include relaxation techniques, meditation, yoga, or therapy meant to irritability and or therapy meant to irritability. And anxiety. So meant for irritability and anxiety, not meant to. That's a weird way to write that. However, one Japanese company may have come up with a much more efficient solution, using AI to completely take screaming and aggressive speech out of the equation. SoftBank claims to have spent 3 years creating a voice filter that detects screaming and automatically translates it into calm speech.
So, filter, or whatever you want to call it, anytime you alter reality, never a good thing. I get it.
Yes.
It's a tough job. You got to be a certain personality to listen to all that as you get it, but buckle up, buttercup, or get another job.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But
yeah, because this
it's
is
horrible.
just a stepping
Get me
stone.
wrong. You're talking to someone that had nothing to do with it.
Yes.
And you're hammering because you're frustrated, and that person that you're on the other end of the line is the only one you have to vent on.
Yeah.
So I get all of
We
that.
can empathize with your situation. You know, if you've gone through it or going through
it
it.
takes a certain person.
Yes.
It takes a certain person to calm that individual down.
At the same time, this is just a stepping stone for it to translate your speech as you talking to other people, and like they can use it like, oh, this is an anti-terrorism program or something, and then they can have you like they can translate anything you have to say, let's say maybe pro-Trump or something, and then translate into pro-Biden or something. You know, they can start dividing families and causing all sorts of bedlam.
It's exactly what you said. It's a stepping stone to alter reality.
Yes.
It's a horrible idea.
Yes.
1984, anybody?
Yeah, I know, right? Huh. I just want to read one more paragraph here because this is really interesting. SoftBank's voice filter consists of 2 stages. One in which the AI identifies an angry voice and extracts key points of speech, and a second where it uses acoustic tools to transform it into a more natural, even polite tone. Interestingly, the filter doesn't change any of the words spoken by the person, but significantly softens the intonation. The call center operator will still hear any insults uttered, only in a soft tone, which should help reduce their stress and anxiety. Okay, so it doesn't alter words and do so. It's not to that point yet.
Okay. Well,
But it's still like, you know, if I call you like this, blah, 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 it'll come across as, if I call you like this, blah, blah. It'll say the same thing. It'll just say it in a softer tone. So you're not getting screamed at, but you're still hearing whatever's being said. Nothing's being changed.
That's
just the screaming is being taken out of the equation. But still, you know, we're now getting, you know, to the point where this is normalizing the technology, essentially, subconsciously. You know, because once they get this in here and accepted generally by society, then the next step is to get them to accept changing words. And this could be used as the same exact avenue. You know, instead of being called the son of a so-and-so, you're being called a gentleman or lady or androgynous toaster who identifies as an Apache helicopter, whatever the hell you want to be. You know, it can change all that. Like,
anytime you homogenize something, you know, to make it all the same, you don't know what you're dealing with. You have no, I mean, if everybody's coming across the same to you, no matter what they say on the other line, there's no way to know what you're dealing with. Do I need to get a supervisor right now because someone's losing it on the other end? I don't know. You know? I don't know.
I mean, you know, and usually by then, like, you know, that makes me wonder, like, how many times have, like, customer service people had to, like, call the local police, you know, because it's like, you know, because they're dealing things like, you know, from coast to coast, maybe even internationally. So they would have like the address of the caller and be like, and call that local police, like, hey, I have an irate person here, and they're talking about, you know, yada yada. I mean, I'm pretty sure some people have mentioned doing horrible things.
There is a ton of process. If you become a complaint answer, let's say that, you are taught, and it goes through processes. Once it get you check off all the boxes you can do. You can say, hold on, I can't help you. You need more than I do.
Then you
they get a supervisor,
move it up the line,
and then it's bump, 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 bump.
Yeah.
Until they solve it, or like you say,
Yeah.
I guess at some point they would call the police, but I don't know. But anyways, you just can't homogenize stuff.
You can't.
You can't dilute.
Anyway, let's move on up here. We have another article here. Cheating husband sues Apple for accidentally exposing infidelity to his wife. Oh my goodness.
Accidentally?
Yeah, well, like the phone is always recording you, like even when you're not using it. Like people have recorded it, like, you know, in ultraviolet or, you know, different light waves and everything. Yeah. And even right now, wherever the hell my phone right here, even right now, it has a frontal camera here.
Yeah.
We can't see it, but every, like, I think it was like every 8.5 or 15 seconds or something, it takes a photo.
Oh, okay.
And it sends it to, you know, it's not saving it to your phone or anything.
No.
It's sending it to Apple. So they're constantly surveilling you. They're constantly taking photos. They're taking videos. They're listening. Everything with any form of technology is listening. Even when I have this webcam off, we've already known for years that the FBI and CIA and whatnot can turn your webcam on without activating the lights. They have that ability. Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and what's his face,
doesn't matter.
the Amazon guy, Jeff Bezos, all these people, they always, you know, they've spoken about taping over their laptop built-in webcam, so that way they can't be recorded, they can't be tracked, they can't be, you know, microphones. You know, it's they're saying it.
Yeah.
So, and if they're doing things about it, we should too. You know?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, speaking of feds and all that stuff, Ghostery! How you doing?
The Fed. Doing good.
That's exactly what a Fed would say. But anyway, no, let's move on here. It says, UK man is trying to take tech giant Apple to court for £5 million or $6.3 million, US dollars. Accusing the company of revealing his private messages with other women to his wife by synchronizing his iPhone with a family iMac. Uh-oh. So, it automatically syncs.
Wow.
Which is something that they, you know, they do, like, you know, like you know, all your devices, like if you're all running off of the same, like, general thing, like, you know, Apple, Microsoft, whatever, if you have various things and they release a sync update or whatever, most of the time, unless you're paying attention to every little thing, it'll just occur. So this sounds like an automatic update, an automatic synchronization. They're all updated. It's all the same family. They're like, okay, well, you know, bloop. And they know everything about us. They record us, as I just said.
Here's what really bothers me. Somehow, with electronics and other devices now too, we've lost ownership. In other words, I can't duplicate your product, obviously, but I bought it, that should be mine. They should have no right to come in and do anything to it. I should be the only one that can do that.
Actually,
I realize you sign a deal when you buy it, or
it's not actually your property. You're just buying the rights to use it, and that's all horse crap. You know, Louis Rossman. Yeah. You know, like we all know
but
about.
I'm not leasing it or renting it. I am purchasing it. That's what
you're buying it, but then also like you're relinquishing your privacy because it's connected.
And you sign off on that. Yeah. I get all of that, but nevertheless, I'm talking about the actual fundamental. Don't screw with my stuff. It's mine.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we lost.
I mean, like, case in point, you know, not even stuff that you're buying. Like, YouTube is detecting ad blockers, because I have ad blockers.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know, whatever. Like, they probably already know. I don't care. You know, I have ad blockers. They detect ad blockers, and they actually like they lag out your live feed on their own end. Like, I didn't buy anything that requires that's required for YouTube. Like YouTube is not affiliated with my computer, with my monitor, with my mouse, with my microphone, with my keyboard, with any part of the hardware, software, or peripherals. YouTube is no involvement. But they've still, like, it's illegal, and I think they're still battling it in court. I'm not sure, but they've invaded my personal computer and every other computer out there to detect whether or not you have ad blockers, and if you do, they reduce the download speed you can get for your video and reduce the quality you get. And I'm not even buying into them.
Yeah.
Like, and actually
it's
recently,
a quandary, and their argument's going to be, oh no, I'm not touching your computer. I'm just the airwaves coming to your computer.
Yeah.
I'm reading. Okay.
Now I wonder, and I think if anybody, Ghost here would know. But a recent thing has come out. The U.S. government is suing Adobe.
Yep.
Like, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe, the and all that stuff.
I'm not familiar with it, but that's me.
Yeah,
I'm a dinosaur.
You've heard of Photoshop, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay, Adobe is the company that made it.
Oh,
Photoshop is a product of Adobe. So Adobe is the company. And they have a slew of programs across the spectrum. But they're being sued by the U.S. government. Like the government themselves are just like, hey, you've gone too far. When our government is saying you've gone too far, you've woo, does anybody know specifics?
Sounds like this would be this guy's defense. No, it's not real. They made this up.
Yeah. Well, no. It has something to do about.
I'm talking about the particular thing.
Yeah. Well, this
got busted big time, and he should have gotten busted.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You shouldn't be infidel. Or infidelity.
They were scanning your entire.
They were scanning our entire what? You just muted your mic.
Yeah. They were scanning entire computers and taking people's artwork.
Oh yeah, Adobe was. Adobe.
Oh man, no, that's really bad.
Yeah, that's right.
That's really bad. Oh man, that's horrible.
Yeah, I think they might have been using it to trade an AI or something.
Yeah, it's something to do about like Adobe stepping out of their lane to do something about copyright infringement. So like if you had any pictures on your computer that were created outside of actual what's already online and accessible, of Disney or Nintendo or anything with copyright, they'll go ahead and take it upon themselves to do police work and take it off of your hard drive.
Oh, okay.
So that's what happened, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
Especially you mentioned
Disney
with Mickey Mouse. I mean, all their products, but Mickey Mouse.
Well, Mickey Mouse. No, Mickey Mouse isn't. No, Mickey Mouse is in public domain.
But they can get you for likenesses and stuff like that. I don't know how they still do it. They do it all over time.
No, Mickey Mouse is no longer copyright.
Oh, okay.
It came in public domain as of January 1st this year.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
How did I know?
Well, you told me a long time ago.
I told you? Well,
yeah, you were. Yeah.
I'm gonna plead the old man defense.
Yeah, I figured. Anyway, let's move on up here. What else do we got? The world's tallest rideable bicycle is over 25 feet tall.
Ooh.
Whoa.
That's up there.
Yeah. That's what I call riding high. Two French biking enthusiasts recently set a new Guinness World Record for the tallest rideable bicycle by building a 7.77 meter or 25.5 inch behemoth that can be barely ridden. Nicholas Barrios and David Peru came up with the idea for the world's tallest bicycle 5 years ago while drinking at a pub, of course. Of course, that's...
Of course.
If the glass fits. But they actually decided to go through with the project and spent months putting together a plan to make it work.
Wow.
Made from metal alloy, steel, and wood, the unique bike took hundreds of hours to complete in a way that made it rideable, even for a short distance. Jeez. It may not seem like a challenge, but building a 25-foot rideable bicycle is definitely not as easy as riding a bike.
No, not quite.
For example, the pedals are connected to the wheels via a 16-meter or 53-foot chain. And because of its extreme height, the bicycle has to move at a speed of 15 to 20 kilometers per hour or 19 to 12 miles per hour for the rider to maintain balance. So you got to be moving.
Wow. So my question
is... Oh my God, look at
that. So is it a boys or girls bike?
Whoever can get up there. It's yours. Congratulations. Good luck stealing that thing.
Wow. No.
Yikes.
My getaway bike.
That's nuts.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Quick, let's be as conspicuous as we can.
Yeah. No one will notice.
Oh, here's an eyebrow-raising headline. Floating corpse in rural pond turns out to be napping man.
Oh, jeez.
He wasn't dead. He was just relaxing. Leave him alone. Poor guy.
Hope they didn't scoop him up and put him in a bag, you know.
They were going to,
All of a
apparently.
sudden the bag's moving, you know. Floating corpse.
Oh, jeez. The residents of an Indian village recently called the police about a floating human body in their pond, but it turned out to be a man taking a nap and cooling off on a hot summer day. Yeah, like, not every floating body is a dead person, guys. Come on. I know your area of the world is not that well, but seriously. Try to have some optimism and enjoyment in your life. To their credit, the people of Redyapuram Kovilakunta, a village in India's Andhra Pradesh state, didn't immediately panic and call the police when they noticed a motionless human body in their pond. They tried calling out to him when they first spotted it around 7 in the morning, but they got no answer. And seeing as the body didn't move until 12 p.m., they finally decided to call the authorities. Okay, so that was too much.
Yeah.
Police unit and emergency services rushed to the scene, where they indeed discovered a human body floating in the water. Only what looked like a corpse turned out to be an inebriated man napping in the water after a grueling 10-day work stint at a local quarry. Alright, so yeah, he was tired.
I'm tired, man.
Wow.
But yeah, no, you gotta think of a better way to take a nap there, bro, because, like, you just scared an entire village and got police response. Let's see this. So they're just...
Hey, what are you doing?
Oh my god!
Like, you can almost hear him, like, shitting his pants. Is this patient zero? Is this a zombie? Must I pull out my gun immediately? Wow.
I can see how he'd be in that hole because it was so shallow.
Yeah.
You know, so he's just covered it, his face is out of it, and he's sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he needs to think of a better way to take a nap. Anyway, what else do we got here? Hairdresser with ball-like fingertips turns his rare condition into a strength. And before I show the...
What does that mean?
Well, his fingertips and balls, you'll see. It is what you think, trust me. Shogo Yoshida, a young hairdresser from Nagoya, suffers from a genetic condition that causes his fingertips to swell up like ping pong balls, but he has managed to turn his physical defect into an asset. Yoshida, who goes by Bakshi Yubi-san, or Mr. Drumstick Fingers on social media, wow, what a name, started attracting attention in Japan in late 2022 by posting photos and videos of his deformed fingers on social media. Wow, way to drum up an audience. I'm sorry, should I play some chopsticks? The feedback wasn't always positive, as some called his hands gross or grotesque and scolded him for trying to make money off his disability, but the young Japanese man had been used to criticism for a long time. You know what? The man has a disability. Let him do with it as he pleases. It's not your disability, it's his. You know, if he can find a way to utilize it to make money, who the fuck are you to say he shouldn't? He's the one with the problem, alright? He does not privilege to live the life that you have, so leave him alone.
Yeah.
You know?
I hear about that tall guy in the NBA utilizing his tallness to, you know, get better in the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah, he's taking advantage of that. How about men and women? Men and women.
Yeah.
Taking huge advantage of that and making money.
Actors, actresses, like, you know, making millions, billions a year.
It's just stupid.
Yeah. Those pretty people using their prettiness. How dare they?
God,
I'm offended.
You know, like, if you want to be offended, fine, but you have no right to be offended on behalf of anybody else, because you are not them. Unless it's you, then fuck off. You know? Anyway, it says here, ever since he was diagnosed with, pachydermoperiodosis, or PDP, a rare genetic condition that causes his fingertips to swell up like small balls. Shogo Yoshida had to face the ridicule and disgusted looks from his peers. But as he grew older, he learned to manage his uniqueness and turn it into something positive. So here's his fingertips here. And man.
It doesn't even look that bad, though.
Yeah.
I was expecting something way worse than that.
No, but still, like, you know,
Yeah.
it's noticeable.
Of course.
Yeah. So this is basically giving his whole life story, so I'm not sure exactly, like, what he did. But yeah. Go to our underbar, go to the source. It is Oddity Central, and you'll see a hairdresser with, what's it called up here? Hairdresser with ball-like fingertips turns his rare condition into strength. That's the URL. So, I highly suggest, you know, going in and reading this. It's really interesting. Anyway, moving on up here. Chinese military buff unknowingly buys classified state secrets for $1. Oh, whoops.
Whoopsies.
Yeah, no.
Bought it at a garage sale.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop the government from just, you know, erasing that entire family. Like,
yeah, he's not in good shape.
No. The military buff in China alerted authorities after discovering that the discarded books he had bought from a recycling station for just $1 were classified military documents. Well,
oops.
Whoever it was who was in charge of that, you know, is going to get, you know, their teeth kicked in too. You know, they shouldn't be just haphazardly throwing it away like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's top secret stuff. So, you know, Chinese
Might be
government, man, you
appropriate
guys are
time to
slipping
burn her
up.
book, you know.
Chinese Ministry of State Security recently took on social media to praise the actions of a military enthusiast surnamed Zhang, who had alerted authorities after buying some military books from a recycling station without knowing that they actually contained confidential military secrets. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, Zhang called a hotline to report the incident and then handed over the documents to the appropriate authorities. The ministry praised his responsible action, acknowledging that things could have been very different had the military secrets ended up in the hands of bad actors. But how do such secrets end up on the open market, especially in a strict country like China? Yeah, they slip it up. And this is something that's, you know, like there's multiple layers to this. One, the CCP is allowing the story to get through. Two,
yeah, that's true.
Two, how many times has people just haphazardly thrown things away, you know, for them to actually let it become, you know, known? Three, how many times have people thrown things away and not notified any news agencies for it to become known? Like, how much, like, millions of pages of documents are just, you know, of confidential CCP military, you know, files are just out there.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap, you guys, like, yeah, you gotta tighten up your books a little bit. So, man. The Chinese state managed to retrieve all the solid books and close the loophole, but it's unclear what happened to the 2 employees who sold them instead of shredding them. Well, it's not up to the employees to... Well, they shouldn't be selling them, yeah, that is true. But why are they targets? Why not go after the actual military official who threw the damn thing away? You know?
Well, they're supposed to be shredded, that's the point. They didn't shred them, they sold them. And you don't know what happened to them. Surprise, surprise. If they're even still alive.
True. We have here, I think we've covered this before. It sounds very familiar, but this might be actually like a new story of the same story. A woman sues company for paying her to do nothing for 20 years. Okay? Because that makes sense.
Why don't you just give the money back?
I know, right? You don't want it? A French woman is taking telecom giant Orange to court for moral harassment and discrimination at work, accusing the company for paying her for 20 years without giving her any tasks. So they're not firing her, but they're not giving her any work, and they're just paying her to just be around.
They're waiting for her to quit. She has some grandfathered in fucking thing, right?
Probably. Lawrence Van Wazenhoff was recruited as a civil servant by France Telecom in 1993 before the company was taken over by Orange. Her original employer knew that she was hemiplegic with partial paralysis of the face and limbs from birth and suffered from epilepsy, and offered her a position adapted to her medical conditions. She worked as a secretary in the HR department until 2002, when she asked to be transferred to another region of France. Her request was approved, but her new workplace was not adapted to her needs. And an occupational medicine report confirmed that the position was not suited for her. Despite this, Orange allegedly failed to make any adjustments to her job, preferring to pay her full salary for the next 20 years without giving her anything to do. Dude, what the fuck? Like, why?
So why would you wait 20 years before you sued? Because you want to retire and get some extra money? Is that the deal? I mean, 20 years. Where were you 10 years ago? 15 years ago? You know, why didn't you step up? Why now? That's the question.
I mean, like...
Only a woman would sue for having a job that's too easy. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Please, let me have that job.
A job where I have to come in and do literally nothing and they have to pay me for it.
It really depends on the bylaws, because, like, what I would do in that situation is I would just find another job, you know, and then get another paycheck, you know? But, like, if the bylaws were like, oh, I can't find another job, okay. Well, then am I allowed to do my YouTube stuff? Like, am I allowed to do what I'm literally doing right now? Or will that be considered as another job? Like, if I literally have to just sit there and do nothing for, like, a full shift every day, then I would sue. Because I would go crazy and end up going to prison for horrible things.
Would you wait 20 years before you sue?
No!
Okay, that's my point.
I would do it, like, not even after the first day. Like, you know, after I've, like, you know, sat there, I'll probably spend a lot of time reading the bylaws, figuring out what I can and can't do.
Yeah.
And if I can't do anything, like, if I can't do YouTube, if I can't, you know, like, do things around the house, if I have to sit here in front of a camera to prove that I'm spending the time allotted, you know, while not dedicating the time to anything else because they'd rather not give me any work, then screw that, you know, I'm out. I'll find something to do, you know? Like, money is good, but if you're just sitting there for money, what's the point? Like, you're wasting your life.
The problem with her case is the 20 years.
Yeah, well, like you know, you make a good point. You know, did you just sit there and just take the money, and then now she just wants to, you know, get an additional, like, lump sum for, you know, additional retirement funds?
Yeah, who knows?
Like, so... This is crazy. Like, let's get a woman's opinion on this. Ghostery, you haven't said anything. Come on.
Yes.
Like, what are your thoughts about this? What would you do?
No comment. I don't know. I wasn't listening. I'm like multitasking. Typical woman, I know.
Alright, anyway, we're going to move on up here. Student caught using artificial intelligence to cheat on university entrance test. Here we go. We've been in this world for a while, but yeah, now it's official. A Turkish university candidate was recently arrested after being caught using an AI-powered system to obtain answers to the entrance exam in real time. On June 8th, thousands of high school graduates took the Basic Proficiency Test, TYT, the first session of the Higher Education Institutions exams, the YKS, in Isparta. But one incident made international news headlines. One candidate, referred to only by the initials MEE by Turkish media, was reportedly caught using or cheating using an ingenious system involving an internet connection, a concealed camera, and an AI-powered software that could read the questions on the test and provide answers in real time. Unfortunately, the man's behavior during the test attracted the supervisor's attention, and upon closer inspection, his cheating methods was discovered. But that is wild. Like, he was feeding into an AI from a camera the test.
Yeah.
And not putting in the text or anything, like, that can be converted into digital, but actual observation converted into digital, and in real time provide answers. Like... Isn't that literally what Elroy Jetson did one time?
I don't know.
I'm not kidding. Like,
Could have.
I swear to God, he did that one time.
Could have. I have no idea.
You watch? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You use that little watch thing. Like, and this is exactly what this is. Oh my God, dude.
He used his Apple.
Yeah.
We're living in the Jetsons.
That's why they have. Isn't that why these exam centers have cameras on people all the time to watch to see if they're going to do something like that?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
The dude's behavior, not the tech. The behavior flagged him, not the tech.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So, you know, now we did,
That's
you
right.
know, they need to just perfect it and figure out a way where only they can see, like, on, like you know, like, underside of the wristwatch or something, like on the inner side of the wrist. You know, like it can read, I don't know.
Connected to your eyeball.
Oh, yikes.
Exactly, yikes.
Well, that's coming too.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Well, they don't even need it physically connected to your eyeball. You just have some implant there with a wireless receiver.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Going any further than that.
Oh my God, we're turning into augmentations already. Jeez. Anyway, let's get out of some nightmare situations. Supermarket implements extra slow checkout. Sales increased by 10%. What? A Japanese supermarket that implemented an extra slow checkout where customers are never rushed recently reported a 10% increase in sales. Oh, what a concept. Slowing down and enjoying your life, huh? You know, that's
How
very...
does that increase sales, though?
Because it's more pleasurable to experience, so you're going to go there more often. And buy more things because you're happy. You're not being like, okay, oh, you buy now. Oh, buy chips, buy this, buy that. Now get out, store now. Next customer. You know, like... most supermarkets these days are... Sorry?
Are they capturing, like, shoplifters, too? Based on the previous story? Because they're going slower, they can see what's being scanned, so they catch it if it's not being scanned.
That might be an added benefit as well. You know, that's a good pull right there. But let's see here. Most supermarkets these days are constantly looking for ways to speed up the checkout process, and for good reason. With time being such a valuable commodity, many customers feel pressured by their peers to pack their groceries and pay as quickly as possible so as to not hold up the line too long. Unfortunately, some people just can't be that fast, either because of their age, various disabilities, or even being pregnant. Some of these individuals are often left feeling guilty about moving too slowly, so much that they avoid going to the supermarket altogether. However, one supermarket in Japan's Fukuoka prefecture seems to have solved the problem with an extra slow checkout register where people can spend upwards of 20 minutes without feeling pressured in any way. Okay, so there you go.
So it's one. If you want to take your time, get in this line.
Yeah.
It's not all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, you know, if you have disabilities, if you're old, you know,
that's
like,
different. No,
and
I like that.
And, you know, and there is a common trope, you know, with supermarkets where you're always stuck behind the old lady counting pennies. Yeah. 2,
I have
3.
Coupons. What?
Oh,
No,
I have
coupons, please.
I have coupons.
Oh, no.
Sweet
that
Jesus.
was the dreaded word back in the day.
Oh.
Coupons.
Then she exits the grocery store with paying nothing because she has billions of coupons. She gets the shit for free.
Yeah.
Dude, some of these, like,
I've seen that.
What's wild is some of these coupon cutters and all that stuff, because, you know, back when it was really big, like, on TV and everything, there's, like, shows about it and all that stuff. But some of these people have found ways where not only, like, do they get the bill down to literally zero, like, they
get some money back, too.
But they get money back. They get paid to take shit for free. Oh, my God. Why is nobody else doing this? Why is this not a massive thing? Like...
In California, we've cut out the middleman. Just go in and take it.
Well,
they're not going to pay you, but it's free.
Yeah, the 5-finger discount. Or what did you? What was it called back in your day? Like
5-finger discount.
No. There's another word for it. Like.
Nothing's coming to mind.
Like you lifted the store or something. Look what I lifted, or some weird term like that.
And nothing's coming to me right off the top that I can think of. No.
But anyway, no, like, I do think that a slower checkout line would also, like, you know, greatly increase the chances of not missing things. Like, a case that comes to mind is, what's that movie where they're in, like, a Costco-like situation, and, and like, you know, the guy turns out to have been, like, throwing things behind his back and everything during the checkout, missing items and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What's his face was in it? Like, he was a comedian, the Sufi guy. Not Tom Green, somebody else.
What's the point anyway?
Well, just like, you know, like, the faster you go, the more likely chance that something will get missed.
Yeah.
So, with, you know, so a greatly, you know, like, an appreciated unintended consequence of a slower checkout line would increase the chance of, you know, making sure everything is scanned.
Yeah.
Good show. Anyway, let's move on up here. We were talking about this the other day. David Rush is closing in on the Guinness World Records throne. We spoke about that the other day, about, and you're surprised that I called out his name.
Yeah.
You know, David Rush. He is on a quest to have the most currently held Guinness World Record titles in the world, and he is doing all the wrong things along the way. Huh. The Boise, Idaho resident made international headlines when he broke 52 records in 52 weeks over the course of 2021, and this year he is attempting to top his previous accomplishment by bringing his total of concurrently held records to 181, enough to overtake fellow serial record breaker Silvio Saba's total of 180. Rush, aka Record Breaker Rush, on YouTube said revealing his goal publicly carried a big risk. So, his current total is 177, putting his goal in sight. He said the title that will take him to 181 is currently as much of a mystery to him as it is to his YouTube followers. So not even he knows exactly what he's going to do. But yeah, no, you can't hush the rush, man. It's so funny. Like I was sitting here thinking, like, should I talk about this? Am I going to start being accused of being a fan of David Rush? And like, my God, I'm a fan of David Bloody Rush. Like, I've been reading about this guy, like off and on for well over a year and a half, 2 years now. He's almost always in one article in every news show. Like he's almost every week, almost once. Breaking this record, breaking that record, doing this, and then, I came up with that term, like, you can't hush the rush.
You came up with that?
Yeah, like, I just saying that because I'm trying to be, like, how sports people like to rhyme and be stupid.
That's where you got to intro a David Rush article now. Okay, you can't rush
you can't hush the rush. I mean, it makes no sense because he's not sitting there just talking, he's doing things. But, like, what rhymes with rush? You can't mush the rush? Like, what else can you say? Like,
not much for Rush.
You can't play with Dave? I don't know. Like, the guy deserves a phrase. He's been busting his ass. Anyway, woman gets her master's degree from Stanford at the age of 105. Oh, wow. My goodness. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. A woman who left school during World War II finally received her master's degree in education 83 years later at the age of 105. Wow. So
did she go back to school or she just finally received it?
Well, let's see here. Virginia Ginger Hislop earned her bachelor's degree from the Stanford University School of Education in 1940 and immediately started work on her master's at what is now the Stanford Graduate School of Education. Hislop's boyfriend, George Hislop, was called up to serve in World War II, leading the couple to get married and leave campus just before she would have turned in her final thesis to get her degree. So she was there.
Yeah.
It just took her all this time to go back and just finish it up.
Yeah.
She took her time. Like, what?
It's called life.
I mean, I just would have, like, planned a weekend trip just to go out there, say, shake a hand, get a picture, and come back home. Like, I don't know. That just seems like way too long. But at least she got it done. Better late than never, so.
It's true. There are so many degrees out there that just need the final project done. Or a card submitted, or an application for graduation submitted to get the degree. So it's good for her.
Absolutely good for her.
Yeah. She walked across the stage at the GSE diploma ceremony and was handed her diploma by Dean Daniel Schwartz. So it sounds like she was part of that ceremony. That graduation was just like last week or so, right? Like, it's past couple of weeks is graduation. Graduation season, is ending right now. So it's been the beginning of summer officially for about a week. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
University's usually earlier, but
yeah. Anyway, let's see here. Blue paint spill covers a half-mile of Delaware Road. Huh. Oh, why the hell do they have Bluey? Oh my goodness. What? But by the look of it, like, he's sitting there all sad and everything. What is that? Is that the remains of his dad that just got skidded across the road at high speeds? Like, what are they implying with this picture? It's horrifying. Anyway, residents of a Delaware town awoke to find a line of blue paint had been spilled on about a half-mile of road, with several cars also getting splashed. The Delaware Department of Transportation said in a Facebook post that the paint spill occurred at about 7 in the morning on Tuesday, quote, covering the road and a number of cars, end quote, for about half a mile of Savannah Road and Lewes. The paint line also crossed into the Surf Bagel parking lot along Route 1 and a section of Plantation Road. The department shared a photo of the paint line, which with the addition of children's cartoon character Bluey looking on with disappointment. Why?
There you go.
Like, that's such a weird thing to add to that. They're trying so hard to just be relevant in some weird way. I'm confused. Anyway, let's see here. Watch believed to have been eaten by cow turns up 50 years later. Huh. Alright. A British farmer was reunited with his Rolex watch 50 years after it was believed to have become the meal for a hungry cow. James Steele, aged 95, said he bought the Rolex shortly after his 21st birthday in 1950, but he lost it about 20 years later while working on his Shropshire, England farm. Well, don't wear a Rolex when you're going out to do farm work, you dingus. Steele said he searched the fields for the watch, but his only lead was a nearby cow. The watch is now resurfaced 50 years later after Steele's son gave treasure hunter Lion King permission to use his metal detector to search for old coins on the property. It was unclear whether the watch, which had now had a green tint to its face, had indeed passed through the bovine's digestive tract. He said the watch is not in working order, but it did avoid rusting over the years. Steele says he does not plan to have the watch repaired, as it would be a costly endeavor, but he is glad to have it back as a keepsake. All right, well,
fair enough.
He got it back somehow. So now here's something interesting. Man, I would lose my mind if I ever experienced something like this. $3.99 thrift store find turned out to be a nearly 2,000-year-old Mayan vase. Wow!
Jeez.
Holy cats, bro. A vase purchased for just under $4 at Maryland thrift store turned out to be a nearly 2,000-year-old Mayan artifact. Ann Lee Dozier of Washington said she was shopping at the 2A thrift store in Clinton when her attention was grabbed by an unusual vase. She said she was visiting Mexico on a work trip earlier this year. Pardon me, when she noticed some items on display at the Museum of Anthropology before a startling resemblance to the vase she purchased for $3.99. She spoke with a museum official who recommended she contact the Mexican embassy when she returned home. Dozier shared photos and the dimensions of the vase with the embassy, and the item was identified as a Mayan artifact dating from between 200 to 800 AD. Wow. Another thrift store vase purchased for $3.99 from a Goodwill store in Virginia was auctioned last year at over $107,000 when it was found to be designed by Carlo Scarpa for a famed Italian company Vieni in 1942. So, I mean, you know, like, thrift storing is a lot like gambling. I mean, you're not really pulling a lever and hoping you'll win. You're going intentionally and you're getting things that you actually do want. Sometimes you get really lucky. I mean, like, a lot of famous, you know, stolen World War II paintings and such have been found randomly in people's attics and at auctions, and you know, like how many things like that have we seen you go through Pawn Stars doors?
Yeah.
Like, you know, oh, this is just a family heirloom. Like, I was told it could be worth something. Oh, well, this is 5,000 years old. Oh shit! Like, jeez, man. Like, what the hell?
Ironically, I've got a painting just like that. Yeah. Somebody told me it was a museum piece. I didn't believe him. I got it at the thrift store, and I still have it in storage.
Have you gotten it appraised?
No, I'm a little afraid to, honestly. I'm terrified because it's beautiful. It's got the gold leaf around the frame, and it's an old dude. I've Googled the artist's name. It's old dead dude. I'm terrified.
Well, you're potentially withholding from the greater human society something awesome, and it's in a storage unit. You're not even appreciating it. So,
well, that's the double-edged sword. You don't get to appreciate it because you're worried about it.
Yeah, so, like, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? It actually is something, and you're forced to give it away due to, like, some kind of, like, international bylaw or something. Well, so what? You can still go see it, and so can many others. Like, you're sharing the joy. Like, you shouldn't be afraid. So,
well, there's way more to it than that.
Yeah. Well,
for her, I get it.
Yeah. But I mean, you have it in a storage place. You know, you're not even having it for yourself at this point.
No, that's the downside.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're not even having it for yourself, then what's the point? So, anyway, last but not least here, the Monoliths are back, I think.
Yeah,
like,
I saw something on this.
Like remember, like a couple years ago, there was just Monoliths, and they're everywhere, all across the maybe I think the whole world, and they're just appearing and disappearing without any rhyme or reason, and then they were just gone. But now, mysterious monoliths spotted north of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And it's all mirrored and everything.
Yeah,
Here we go again. So, a mysterious monolith was found about 20 miles north of Las Vegas, eliciting memories of similar discoveries around the world back in 2020, as I just mentioned. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department said in a Facebook post that a Las Vegas Metro Station search and rescue team spotted the mirrored monolith near Grass Peak, north of the valley. The column evoked memories of similar monoliths discovered back in 2020 in locations including Utah, California, Las Vegas, Texas, Florida, Wisconsin, Romania, and England's Isle of Wight. An anonymous art collective called The Most Famous Artists later took credit for the several of the U.S.-based monoliths. I remember hearing something about that. Another monolith was found earlier this year on Hay Bluff, near Hay-on-Wye, Wales. The origins of the structure remain unknown. So, is this the same people? Are they trying to be enigmatic again to drum up some more business? Like, so...
I thought it was discovered by a drone. My bad, I guess. And then people have been out there searching for it and haven't been able to find it.
Well, that might have been one.
I could be wrong.
Well, no, that was one of the stories. That was when it first started. It was discovered by a drone or something because it's out in the middle of nowhere, and people were trying to go out and find it. But by then they had already taken it down, or it already disappeared, or whatever the hell happened.
Yeah.
Like, and then then they brought it up 5,000 miles away. So what the hell? Like that something that massive cannot be choreographed by a startup company. So something weird is going on. Like, I don't care if they took credit for it. That was way too big. So, anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the unabridged description below for any links you may find interesting, including one that limited to all things Omni Coalition. We're not just on Rumble and on YouTube. We're on various other places like BitChute and Odyssey and stuff like that. Anyway, for your dose of different, odd, and unusual news, aka notable events, weather, and sports, we stream every Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, which is 4 Mountain, 5 Central, and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. We do have other shows. We have a history show we do almost every day. Haven't been doing that for a little bit for various other reasons, but I'm going to get back onto that hopefully this Sunday. We have the news show. We have The Edge of Disclosure, trying to get that up off the ground. We have the Omni Coalition show, talk show. King's Refuge and I here host every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time. Trying to get Omni Kitchen going, trying to get iNosh going. We have various other shows. We're still in the works, various stages of development. But anyway, if you want to catch us live, if you're on the West, it's 11 and 3 all for the Mountain, 12 and 4, watch us for more. Central, 1 and 5 for the Contrive. East, 2 and 6 for your fix. So for all of you and all of us, I was A.O. Xander.
Golden Loon.
We also have King's Refuge here, and Ghostery, and of course...
Hey there.
Yep. And of course, you, viewer, are you. Thank you very much for watching, and until you catch us some other point, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! My other monitor died, so I gotta stop streaming the old way. Bloop. And then where's the other thing? There it is. Okay. Oh, hold on a second. There we go.